So I've kept things in boxes. Yeah.
What do you think? What causes you anxiety? Why do you think you're anxious?
I think it's. I don't know if it's for everyone, but I think it's fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of like not meeting your goals, of like not succeeding, your failure.
Yeah.
So I think that fear has what has caused the.
Yo, man, I
the
remember,
spike.
man. That fear is crazy.
Yeah.
Man. Melvin is our producer. How many more minutes do we have? We're supposed to do this for 30 minutes.
We have 11 minutes remaining.
We have 11 minutes. What do you mean?
God, you don't have conversation.
I have so much. I have so many things to say. Yeah, the person saying it's so nice is Nyawera, and Mujishot Baba is also here.
Friends for life.
But that's unit time kidogo imebaki. But anyway, because I remember. No, listen. I remember when I was like around 17. I used to judge people who are, because right now I'm 27. I used to judge people who are 27 and were in my position. I was like, look at this failure. Then you Jama is in Wagari.
Me at 27. Me at 27.
This guy is not even married. Yeah, we have failure. This country is lacking in role models.
Yeah.
And now you get to
10 years later.
And now you get to 27 and you're like, you know what? Tunaishi kwa neema ya Mungu, you know?
But I feel like it's also something that I've learned from you.
Yeah.
And I've had to keep on saying, you see, I learn a lot of things from you. I just won't give you credit, but I will.
I'm like
I learn a lot of things. Is that time and chance happen to everyone. And I think you say this all the time, is that everything does work out in the end. And I think that's become my mantra. Because even look, probably when we started dating and where we are now, like there has been, even for you, there's been so much growth in your music, in like your values. Yeah. Thank God we got to change that. Your morality, you know, you're like more.
Are you trying to make me look like I was a bad person? No. I was actually a bad person.
No, but even for me, like there's a lot of growth, and if that's testament to anything, is that everything does work out.
You're less dramatic, more composed. You know, like you chill. Like
happens when you get bored of a relationship.
Oh my God. And how is the industry right now for you?
Like the YouTube space?
First of all, you hate it when I call you an influencer.
I feel like it's because people have demonized that term. The same way they demonized Slay Queen. Yeah. So it's just like, if they use a word, and if you look at it, being an influencer is not such a bad thing. But I think it's people who have attached. Yeah, I don't. It's not a bad thing. Exactly. Yeah. But I think people have demonized that word so much. It's just like,
for a long
you don't
time,
be associated with it.
For a long time, guys would just look at influencers or content creators as those guys who really didn't succeed somewhere else, and this is just their fallback.
Or like socialites.
Or they're just pretty, they look good, they were brought up in a very rich family, and they just want an Uber.
Or like a cheaper version of Kim K.
Yeah, Kim K on a budget.
Yeah, it's like we're like Kim K's on a budget.
That's crazy, man.
So I don't know how the industry has been. For me, I feel like right now is when I'm getting a hang of things. Like now I understand how it works, and it's like my first video went up in 2015. So like that's right now is when like I'm understanding how things are working.
Do you negotiate your deals?
No. Currently no. Because I hate that process. I think that's my worst. Like if for anything else, don't make me negotiate.
Why is it so hard for you to negotiate stuff?
Because I feel like, and maybe there's a creative out there who understand, or maybe even for you, it's like,
I'm going somewhere with this.
Yeah, it's because like your work becomes you're so emotionally invested. It's never about,
you want to cry.
It is about the money, but it's not really about the money. It's about like, it's that kind of sweet spot in between where I'll do it for free, but then again I can't do it for free. So it's that sweet spot.
Yours is not from an inferiority complex. Because me, every time, most of the time, like when I started appearing on your channel, and now clients would call me for
oh my God, you guys, I have to tell you. So here's the thing: I have a YouTube channel, of course, and I've had Ben on there a couple of times. Capacity of being my boyfriend. That's why I said like at some point I did relationship stuff, and now I'm over that.
And it's interesting because once I started appearing on your video, and now clients would call me, which was so foreign. I used to feel like, oh my God, did you just call me? Oh, so the price that you give me, I don't want to make you angry. So I don't even want to.
You don't know your.
Like somebody will say, hi, so how much would you charge for this? And then I hear some of my friends say they charge 150 Gs, 200 Gs, you know, like Moji Short and some of those deals they sign. And then me, I'm like, if I say 100 G's and then this guy drops me, I'm back to brokenness. So I always used to feel so inferior, and I always used to feel like I wouldn't give them value. Like mambo too.
I think it's inferiority, imposter, and I feel like all the creatives I've spoken to suffer from the same curse, where you feel like you're not even. I don't think it's even.
I feel like you're overquoting.
It's not even like a creative problem.
Yeah.
I think it's also like just a human thing where you're not really able to defend your worth, or like you keep on doubting yourself, and you're like, am I really this worth? Like, who told you?
Yeah.
Who told me I'm worth this much? And why do I think someone would pay this amount of money for me? Like, nilijiona aje. And I think it's just you're just talking down at yourself consistently.
Man,
and that's
but I think we'll have to extend.
Yeah.
Like
so it's like that constant talking down on yourself.
So you have to keep reminding yourself.
Yeah, you have to, like, or you just do it and you're like, what the heck?
Another question. When the rise of YouTube came up, a lot of deals moved to YouTubers. You guys literally stole deals even from radio, from TV, from musicians. Like, as if fighting with MCSK was not enough. Now we are sharing this cake with content creators. And a lot of, even up to today, you'll find a lot of corporate brands would prefer taking YouTubers over musicians. Why is this? Because before, musicians would enjoy all this stuff.
I don't know if it's like an issue of musicians versus YouTubers, quote unquote. I think it's just, I think what content creators came to do was, first of all, make information and entertaining content easily available for people. Because before that, what used to happen is used to consume everything on TV. So I used to have, I had to wait for 7:30 for a show which I probably don't have much of a say on, and probably somebody I don't relate. Because think about you and me growing up, right? What are the things on TV? Passions, or not even just look at like the content you would consume. Dunia Wiki here, according to you.
I used to watch that stuff.
Away from local, if you look at international, there was zero black person, so there was nobody who looked like you or me. There was like zero kind of like point of contact. And I feel like even what us people in the YouTube space came to do is just magnify how word of mouth marketing works. Because it's just, how many things do you buy from a billboard vis-a-vis something that your friend recommends?
And if it's somebody you feel like you trust, know. Somebody like you feel like you know.
Looks like you, feels like you, or you aspire to be like. So I feel like they came to bridge that gap. And if you look at the musicians and the YouTubers conversation that you were trying to get at, I think what it came to do is, previously, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not well conversed with the music industry, is that what used to happen with musicians, they used to, like, you used to just rely on your craft music, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what content creators came to do is you could diversify. Like, you could be more than just
a musician.
You could now be like a wholesome brand. You could voice we could hear what you're saying beyond the lyrics. So if it's something you stand for, if it's people with disabilities that you're passionate about, different things. So I think they bridge that gap.
And it's interesting because it's happening even globally. You see people like J-Lo come on board. See other people. Like who else?
Beyonce. Why would you forget?
Like Beyonce. You see a lot of people create content. And it's weird because in Kenya, when I started creating content...
No, Beyonce does not. But with Homecoming, like her tour and
everything, even Justin Bieber right now with the whole
documentaries,
thing, like you can tell
J-Lo, her channel
everyone
is
is
full
trying
of her
to tell a story through their brands, and even in music, I feel like a lot of Kenyan musicians are still late to the party, because even when I started it, I'd still get a lot of criticism from a lot of music industry players. They're like,
you're selling out.
Ben, now you've decided to create content. Sasa watu watakuzoea. People get so used to you. People won't be listening.
But people like that,
and that's the thing, because the world now is looking for a place to plug in, or a place to connect, or just someone to
and I think
buy their vibe from.
I'll add on to what you said, and something my sister told me. It's like.
You're learning a lot from your sister and myself,
and from you.
Okay, Nobel.
I'll need to quote my dad also, because she told me that a lot of times we see like these big people, like like the celebrities and everyone, and you find like there's a disconnect with them. Like you're like, oh my god, and how do I connect with this person, or how do we even, or like they're just way above there and mini koapa, like we're just in two different worlds. But like you have to keep on remembering that at the end of the day we are all just humans, and humans just want to belong. They just want to feel like there's a connection with you, and I feel like any person who just breaks that barrier, those walls, and is able to connect with a stranger, whether you or a stranger or a friend, and I think that connection is what just grows brands. I think it's just that breaking down that wall.
Very interesting, because even Kenyan brands, some of them decided to jump on this storytelling thing quite early, like Safaricom. Like today, there's another tweet.